Welcome to AviatorDB News Briefing. Today is Thursday, June 11th, 2026. First, breaking news headlines. 2 pilots killed in Gulfstream G200 emergency landing crash in Dominican Republic. In other news, JetBlue United rumors dismissed as United CEO rules out acquisition. Boeing delivery delays impact 737 MAX production targets for 2026. Air Force One delay pushes presidential jet timeline to 2029. Boom XB-1 completes final flight, ending Supersonic test program. Now for the details. 2 U.S. pilots were killed Sunday, June 7, 2026, when a Gulfstream G200 registration N38JF crashed during an attempted emergency landing at La Romana International Airport, LRM-MDLR, in the Dominican Republic. The aircraft, operated by iBonito Aviation LLC, was destroyed by a post-crash fire. According to the Aviation Safety Network, ASN, there were no passengers on board the flight, which was a positioning trip from La Romana to Austin Bergstrom International Airport in Texas. Flight data and reports from the Instituto Dominicano de Aviación Civil, IDAC, indicate the crew declared an emergency approximately 16 nautical miles southwest of the airport shortly after takeoff from runway 11. NTSB. Data shows the aircraft initially attempted to line up for runway 11 before performing a go-around and circling northwest of the airfield. The aircraft eventually attempted an emergency landing on runway 29. Weather data at the time of the accident, approximately 2010 UTC, showed a tailwind component of roughly 8.7 knots. Video evidence of the sequence shows the aircraft landing hard and veering to the left. The main undercarriage collapsed as the jet slid into the grass adjacent to the runway, causing the number 1 engine to separate from the fuselage. The aircraft subsequently burst into flames after the wing fuel tanks ruptured. Dominican officials confirmed there were no casualties on the ground. Former MLB star Yadier Molina stated the aircraft was scheduled to pick up him and his family in Austin for a trip to Puerto Rico. The cause of the mechanical emergency remains under investigation by Dominican authorities, with the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, and the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, expected to provide assistance due to the aircraft's U.S. registration. United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby has explicitly ruled out a merger or acquisition of JetBlue Airways, dismissing recent JetBlue United rumors as baseless. Speaking at the Bernstein Strategic Decisions Conference in New York, Kirby characterized the notion of pursuing a smaller airline tie-up as idiotic and stated that United does not intend to participate in U.S. airline consolidation for the foreseeable future. Kirby noted that for a potential JetBlue acquisition to be financially credible, JetBlue would need to improve its profit margins by approximately 25 percentage points, a target he described as mathematically close to impossible in the near term. This stance follows previous speculation regarding a possible business combination with American Airlines, which was reportedly rejected by American. Despite the existing blue sky commercial partnership between the two carriers, both airlines have denied active merger talks. JetBlue CEO Joanna Girardi has emphasized the carrier's focus on a standalone turnaround and organic network strategy. Industry analysts suggest that the aggressive antitrust stance of the U.S. Department of Justice, which recently blocked the JetBlue-Spirit merger, remains a significant deterrent for any legacy carrier seeking consolidation. United continues to prioritize international growth and premium cabin recovery over domestic M&A. For those tracking carrier operations across the U.S. airport directory, the current trend suggests a shift toward limited operational cooperation rather than full-scale consolidation. Boeing delivery delays and production updates remain central to aviation industry discussions as the manufacturer works to stabilize 737 MAX output. Despite a brief production pause in March 2026 due to machining errors that caused wiring damage on undelivered jets, Boeing delivered 143 commercial aircraft in the first quarter, surpassing its previous year's pace. Boeing has reaffirmed its goal of approximately 500 737 deliveries for 2026, maintaining a production rate of about 42 aircraft per month. While the company has recovered from temporary quality issues, industry analysts note that Boeing production delays typically result from rework and certification timing rather than complete manufacturing halts. This has created a trend where more aircraft are being produced than delivered in early 2026. Boeing continues managing a massive order backlog amid systemic supply chain constraints affecting both Boeing and Airbus. These bottlenecks are extending delivery timelines for passenger and cargo operators. Qantas Freight reported new freighter deliveries have shifted into fiscal 2027. As the industry progresses through 2026, focus has shifted from order volume to industrial execution, with Boeing and Airbus now integrating new FAA-mandated secondary cockpit barriers into deliveries to enhance flight deck security. The latest Air Force One delay has pushed the expected entry into service for the next-generation presidential aircraft to 2029 or later, according to administration officials and defense reports. The VC-25 billion Presidential Aircraft Recapitalization (PAR) program, which utilizes a modified Boeing 747-8 profile, has faced a series of schedule slips that have moved the delivery date several years beyond the original mid-2020s target. Boeing has attributed the presidential aircraft delay to global supply chain disruptions and evolving project requirements. The aircraft requires highly specialized modifications, including hardened communication systems and electronic warfare suites, which have proven difficult to integrate. A White House communications official described the length of the delay as ridiculous, noting that the new aircraft has been needed for a significant period. Financial tensions have further complicated the program. Originally structured as a $3.9 billion firm fixed-price contract in 2018, reports indicate total program costs have climbed above $5.6 billion, with Boeing absorbing the overruns. This has occurred alongside broader quality control issues affecting Boeing's commercial and defense divisions. To mitigate the Air Force One 2029 timeline, the U.S. government has contracted L3 Harris to modify a former Qatar Airways Boeing 747 as an interim presidential aircraft. This temporary solution is expected to be ready by mid-2026, coinciding with the U.S. 250th anniversary. Defense analysts warn that continued reliance on the aging VC-25A fleet increases technical and reliability risks, necessitating intensive maintenance to ensure continuity of government operations. The Boom XB-1 technology demonstrator has officially concluded its flight test program, marking a pivotal milestone for Boom Supersonic as it transitions toward development of its Overture airliner. The aircraft landed for the final time on February 10, 2025, at Mojave Air and Spaceport, completing a campaign of 13 total flights. During its final mission, the XB-1 reached a top speed of Mach 1.18, approximately 772 miles per hour, at an altitude of 3,654 feet. According to company data, the aircraft broke the sound barrier 3 times during this mission, bringing the program's total to 6 distinct supersonic runs across 2 dedicated high-speed flights. The program utilized a special FAA waiver to operate within the Bell X-1 supersonic corridor over the continental United States. While the flight phase is complete, the XB-1 aircraft profile remains central to the company's engineering strategy. Boom collaborated with NASA to capture Schlieren imaging during the final flight to visualize shock waves and refine aerodynamic models. Although some onboard data gaps were noted by analysts, the company maintains that the XB-1 validated critical flight controls and stability requirements. Boom intends to use the accumulated data to support certification and operational planning of the Overture airliner, with the company targeting commercial supersonic flights by the end of the decade. The demonstrator's retirement signals a shift from experimental flight testing to the hardware development and regulatory phase of the full-scale airliner. That's all we have for today. You can get the latest aviation news at aviatordb.com.